When I, the being, see that Baba and I are combined, what does that mean? Means this is the only moment that exists for Baba. This is the only moment that exists for me, the being. This moment has no past and no future. Baba and I lend a sense of realness to this moment. It is in this moment that there is eternity. I, the being, do not exist in the last second the word was spoken anymore. I always exist here and now. This is extremely important to see directly, not just repeating the words, I am an eternal soul, but to see eternity experientially, directly. The fact of this moment is whatever is arising is becoming past. That is why, as it arises, it subsides in the past. The being is in the now, here. That is what it means by stillness. No change in the position of the being. No change in the seeing of the being. This is how Baba sees. Which is why Baba can say, spin the cycle in 1 second. Because he knows that the time, the concept of time, 5,000 years is equals to 1 second, appears in front of the soul, from within the soul. But soul himself is out of the concept of time, is out of the concepts in the mind. Then the being will naturally feel with Baba as his constant companion. Or rather, the being will know Baba as his constant companion. Then the movements of the body are not a distraction for the soul. The thoughts in the mind are not a distraction for the soul. The feelings are not a distraction for the soul. So being with the Father can spin the discus in 1 second or less than a second and be liberated. Means whilst in liberation with Baba, knows that the whole cycle, whether it be 5,000, 1 second, 5 seconds, doesn't matter. It's awakening from the dream. Do I know my eternal self that I am? Or the time has got the grip? Eternity can only be seen and known by the eternal being, not by the mind thinking about eternity, creating concepts about eternity. No wonder Baba emphasizes, know your eternal form. And you will be freed. So that is why observation by the being who's the observer is not to get rid of any feelings. Get away from them. And even if the observation is done correctly and the feelings persist, mind will come in to judge based on time. How long will they last? I've been observing for so long. When will it start feeling better? And the being who's the observer, timeless, eternal being, since there is no concept of time for the eternal being, a moment gone is already past. This moment is new. I exist only now. So for me, that feeling has no past and no future. It is just the fact of something arising in this moment, presenting itself. I stay as I am timelessly with Baba. Baba and I together. Judgmentlessly. Anything that arises is just a passing wave. So then who's saying how long will it last? When will it get better? I've been observing for so long, it's not getting better. Why is it persisting? Even that mind is observed by Baba and I, the eternal self. Then the mind comes with another judgment. Ah, I feel better now. Finally, it changed. And then, after some time, the feeling changes. And then the mind says, oh, why did it change? I don't like this feeling. Let me observe again. And subtle agenda it carries is, it needs to get better. I, the being, the eternal self, timelessly observer of all of these waves of energy of the mind. Nothing is moving and changing about me. Still, silently present. Vision focused on Baba. Is the sound heard? I don't know if anybody can come into camera or... Oh, I wasn't sure if you could turn it on. It was okay. It's the moment of eternity understood, seen, the eternity of the self. Somebody asked a question, what is stillness? If I'm moving my body, performing actions, then how am I still?
Soul is still, right? Not the body.
Sorry?
Soul is
Yes.
still, not the body.
The soul is in the body, soul is using the body. And if body is moving, how come the soul is still?
Soul is changeless, right? So nothing is changing for the soul.
Very good, very good. Stillness means changelessness. Yeah? The position of the soul is not changing. Change of position is the idea in the mind. Have you ever seen a slow motion movie? Or some movements in slow motion? Yeah? This is fast motion. This is slow motion. Yeah? Slow motion. What happens in slow motion? See, I the being. Fast motion, slow motion. I'm present to every movement as it's happening. So I can see it in more clearly in slow motion. In fast movement, it's all jumbled up because mind is too fast to compute it as past, present, future movement. Whereas in slow motion,
You can see
I
each finger's motion. You can see each finger's motion, how it's moving. Fast, slow.
Fast, slow, I can see. I can also see that I am in this moment and I can see this finger moving like this. And this has already become a past for me. And then this finger coming up. So do you see the movement is only associated with time and position as here and there? It is the language of the mind. Whereas for the soul is in this moment when this finger was here, I'm here. The movement changed. I'm not there in the past, movement of the finger there. I'm still here and the movement changed. Now the finger's movement is up. Do you see there's no here and there? Here and there is in the time and in the past and the future. Do you see that?
Like in animation films, if they want to show a running horse, they actually make pictures of every little like minute second differences, right? And when it's like you see it at once, you see the running horse, but actually it's made up of like a fraction of a second pictures that are drawn.
Exactly. Very good, very good. And this is a very beautiful analogy. It is every fraction of a second of a movement is kind of drawn. And then they're put together. And then it looks like the horse is running. They flip it. It's like literally they flip the pages and it looks like the horse is running. Very good. And this is exactly what the eternal being is only present now, and every fraction of a second of a movement is visible to me. But that fraction of a second of a movement has already become past it was there, and then it's going to be there now. That's all in the mind. The soul is always in the moment, still, here and now. And that is why this eternity is, Baba is saying, Anadi Swarup, Anadi Swarup, Anadi Kal, 5,000, 5,000 year cycle, see it in 1 second. Who is doing it all? The time-bound movement of the mind is doing it all. And how is it practical? Because it becomes very easy for you to know that I am stillness. Thoughts are constantly moving. One thought, two thought, every fraction of a second, as Sister mentioned. That every movement is calculated in the form of thought and feeling and emotion in the mind. Thought after thought after thought after thought after thought is giving a sense of I am changing, I am moving. I am not changing and I am not moving. I am still with Baba. And it's not then just another mental commentary I've given, I am stillness. Now I know practically how I am stillness. How I am eternity. And if you really want to contemplate, these are the things to contemplate. Yeah? If you really want you, the soul, to use your mind in a productive way, then this is how you use your mind. What does it mean to be eternal? How do I practically see it? Let the whole year go by just on eternity. Why not? What does it mean to be still? Am I experiencing my stillness as I am moving this body? How is it that body is moving in different positions, but it's mind registering? Oh, that's the past. I was sitting on the chair. Now in the present, I'm standing. Then in the future, I will be sitting again. That is the movement and the time and the position in the mind. The eternal being is in the moment of whatever experience is taking place right now. Does that make sense? So I, the being with Baba. Yes, yes. Anybody wants to say something?
The being itself has no past or present, right? It's existing in that one fraction of a second, whatever that is.
Exactly. That fraction of a second is appearing and then it's disappearing, and I am still here. Then it's appearing, it's disappearing, and I am still here. And more I know me as that eternal being, in front of which every aspect of time and movement is appearing and disappearing. I am not deceived by the movements of the body. I will not be saying, oh, because I was working so much, I forgot Baba. That means somewhere I was thinking I am that moving body. Yeah. Whereas I can be that still more, and from direct experience, one can see that. Otherwise, it's just another ratamara of the mind, rota, learned by rota. I'm still. It has to be a direct seeing. And you need to use your mind to be immersed in these things. And you means I, the being. If I really want to contemplate, this is the contemplation Baba wants you to have for your mind. Then I'm with Baba. Every moment I'm experiencing my eternity. And that is why even when you were asleep and lost in the concept of time in the mind, when you wake up, for you, you know you are existing in this moment of now. Mind will regret, oh my God, I forgot for 10 minutes. The soul is okay, immersed, opened, I woke up and I see, oh, I'm here and now. Yeah. So see it more, live it more, be with Baba means all of these things. This is what it means to be with Baba. And this is such a beautiful thing Baba teaches us, that I know my children are so fast asleep. So even when you're doing things in the drama, be with me. Why? It's a very beautiful yukti Baba has. If you're actually with Baba, then your mind, you, the soul, is with Baba, and your mind is also not interested in thinking about the past. If you're buying a vegetable, you're just buying a vegetable. You're not thinking about 10 other things. Usko wo pasand aayega, usko ye pasand aayega. No, Baba and I buying a vegetable. Then I am in eternity, experiencing this moment as it's presenting itself. No past memories dictating my present moment, action. So this is why it's such a beautiful thing. With Baba, do everything. This is how Baba is making us come out. He's so many different ways he tries us just to be in this moment, here and now. Being with him means being here and now with him and being appreciative of whatever. Being is always appreciative, whatever the experience may be. But what is happening today? Ego mind says, I'm with Baba. Then the feeling mind says, I don't know, आज सब्जियां कुछ अच्छी नहीं मिल रही हैं, पता नहीं आजकल सब्जियां ही अच्छी नहीं मिलती हैं. ये फीलिंग चल रही है अंदर. फिर एक्शन में जा रहे हैं, खरीद रहे हैं. Thoughts, words, actions, awareness, all haywire, all completely out of sync with each other. That is why Baba wants us to be with him every moment. And trust me, this is the only way, one strength, one support, only way you can actually effortlessly be in the now, here with Baba. No past feeling, no past emotion, no past knowing of the mind will dictate your action in this present moment. And then there is spontaneous creativity. It's such a beautiful way of living. So being with Baba means no concept of time, no concept of memory, no concept of position of the body. I was here and I was there. No. Yes, for practical purposes, we will, with Baba, use the practical mind like Baba does. Right? Baba also uses the concept of time, but without losing his timelessness. He gives us the story without forgetting I am storyless and he's storyless. Yeah, very beautiful what Baba, if you just have to see Baba, everything else will come to you from there. More you're too interested in him. How you think, how you say, I want to know everything you know. I want to be everything you are. And you will find he will reveal to you what he is. He reveals himself to those who are wanting to know him as he is. Hmm? And it's a very beautiful way to live. Very contented life. You're not in conflict with anything that is appearing in the moment. What a beautiful way to live. The whole suffering is I don't like the way moment is appearing as a person. That is the whole reason for all the suffering. I want the feeling either to be better or to just stay as it is. Because it's so good, I like it this way right now. So I don't want it to change. Clinging or resisting this moment as it is. And with Baba, you realize, oh, I see. Nothing about me is different. Baba and I. Then this goes. It doesn't go, it doesn't matter. It persists, it goes, doesn't matter. My interest is Baba and I. And then I begin to see the days and the D-A-Z-E. Yeah, that's the days I'm talking about. You know, there's a slight daze when you kind of haziness of sleepy state. You can see how this effect of these clouds of thoughts can create. And I was sitting with Baba and I was like, Baba, how is it that outside everything is lifeless? What is the way that the mind is computing everything that lifeless looks living? Yeah. How is it that mind does compute things like that? Because I know I'm a point, I'm living with you. I know it. Now I know it. There's no doubt in it. But what is it that the mind is doing that it makes lifeless things look living? What is it doing?
Give power or identification. Give power technically. That's
No,
real.
what is mind doing? Mind can't give power, but what is mind doing to compute lifeless things as living? Soul is very aware. Soul is with Baba, not giving power to the mind, but with Baba, understanding the mechanisms of the mind. What is it doing with matter? Then Baba is telling you. Sorry? Yes.
Mind is
Yes.
seeking something, right? All the time it's seeking something. And because it does not really know where to get it, so it gets it from this unreal stuff, an unreal thing. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you shared the dog and the story that you had shared. The dog, I mean, you know, that person in the shoe is unreal, but it perceives it's at real because that missingness is there, the seeking is there, that person is not there. So whatever is unreal of that person, you know, it holds on to.
Yeah, so
So
there's
kind
some
of
feeling associated with that shoe, which reminds that dog in the thoughts of that person.
right.
Yeah,
So like here
yeah.
also the mind is seeking and missing something. It's always missing something, dissatisfied. And so
Mm-hmm.
tries to get that satisfaction from the material or
Mm-hmm.
unreal things.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Mind has language, and that
Mm.
has created a sense of optical illusion. Somebody mentioned optical illusion it has created. Yeah. And in that language comes like the words that we are speaking are simple words of language, but every word has now been given a meaning to it.
Meaning.
And with that meaning, there's associated a feeling with it. And with that feeling, there's also associated a time with it, timeline with it. With that, there's associated a description of good and bad with it. There's a division that is created. With that, with that language, the association of opposites is created. So really, what is trapping the mind is the language.
Mm.
Yeah. Mind with no language is a quiet mind. It has no theories to propound. It has no opposites to create. It's such a trap.
Very true. In the morning when you said, like, in French, if somebody insulted you, you didn't understand anything. So you don't know what they said. So you
Exactly.
won't be affected.
Exactly.
That's the
You're not
language.
exactly. And can it be like for a newborn baby? Yeah, like a newborn baby also doesn't understand language. So it only senses vibrations. Yeah. And this is your connection and relationship with Baba. It's beyond language.
Vibrations.
Vibrations. Absolutely vibrations.
You are muted, sister.
I was telling Brother Soul something. He's looking for dinner. So telling him it's there on the table. So it's really to know that I, the being, without any language of the mind to dwell into, can I know me through vibrations of Baba? Then I am truly knowing myself the way Baba knows me, beyond sound. Because otherwise, too much of the sound chatter is going on of the mind, which the soul really thinks. And it's not the soul. Soul is sleeping. This person who understands that language is itself part of the language. And then feels good and feels bad based on whatever that language is saying, based on what it think it means. So language by itself is not a problem as long as it's pointing towards my soundless truth. Yeah. How are the countries' names created? Which is Africa, which is America, which is India? It's all in a language, and associated with that, there's a certain image. In Golden Age, we are in a human body. There's a male and a female, but there's no language of male and female. There's no language of this is America and this is India. This is Bharat. This is America. And we are very much using the body there also. And this is why when Baba said that day in the Murli, it was so beautiful. I come to Brahma's body and I use the language that this mind knows. Because Baba has no language. Whatever Brahma's language is my language. So to structure the sentences, his vibrations to be structured into sentences, Brahma's mind has to be used. That in itself is a huge awakening for the soul. Wow, Baba is using Brahma's mind to get the message to us because he knows we are totally gone into and lost in language. We can't understand without language. So he has to use the language to pull us out of the language. So if I listen to Baba's Murli and I don't see what they are pointing at, these words, then I'm lost in language even now. Yeah. So I wanted to go back to the Murli, which we were reading from last Baba Milan, which we had not read, but it was very important Murli to read. So we are continuing reading that Murli, where Baba said, "Child, what does the Father now want from you children?"
What's the date of that movie?
The date is 9, 10, 11. So just what does Baba want now from you children, child? The Father always hopes that each soul will be equal to the Father. Equal to the Father, which means Baba is beyond sound, I am beyond sound. Unless I really am that innocent as my innocent Lord, the Father, which means I do not understand the foreign language of the mind. Right? So as sister reminded, somebody abuses you in French, you have no clue what they're saying. You'll be laughing and smiling and they're cursing and yelling and you don't know, so you're smiling. Because you don't understand it.
Still, sister, you can feel the vibrations if they are abusing you and you don't understand the language. Even then, you can feel the vibration that he is saying something bad about me.
It is because we're not using just one sense, we're also using our eyes to see. That is why, right? So mind is computing through all these 5 senses, right? If you had no eyes to see, and you're only hearing their language and they could be speaking nicely. And I have seen, because this one has lived in many different countries, right? Part has been to live in many different countries of the world. And I have seen there are sometimes, if we were sitting, let's say in a Spanish speaking group, when this one was in Venezuela, South America, was living there. And I could see that these souls who are speaking in English with each other and they're talking about the Spanish people and they don't understand English and they will be telling each other and smiling at each other, look what they're doing. And because they don't understand English, so they're making fun of them in English with each other. And those who are Spanish speaking, they don't understand it. So they are also smiling, listening to them, laughing at them, but they don't know they're being laughed at. Do you see how it is working? At that time, I did not pay much attention, but I can look back, see, going back in the memory bank and seeing how those English-speaking people were laughing and criticizing the Spanish people. I mean, those souls playing Spanish parts. But they don't understand. So they're all sitting in one group and they are smiling, and I'm here knowing both. And I'm just seeing, and I'm like, what deception is going on? In the lift, if somebody wanted, in the family also, if somebody wanted to let me know something, they would speak in Hindi so that others won't understand it about them. They did not catch vibrations. Language plays a huge role in creating suffering, and at the same time in creating enlightenment also. But it comes from Baba. Then it creates something else. When it comes from ego mind, then it creates something else. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, sister.
Yeah, there's so much conflict going on in the world based on language. When this one was living in Belgium, there was France, Germany, everywhere, all these different languages. They were just, in Belgium, there was French-speaking areas, German-speaking areas, Flemish-speaking areas, just fighting with each other based on language. So if I was going in French supermarket, it was different than going in German supermarket. The experience was very different based on what language area are you in? Kind of got an idea at that time, but didn't quite understand the spiritual significance of it. In the high insight now, I see it. Yeah. So it plays a very huge role. Like in Rajasthan, there are different ways of speaking the language Rajasthani. In the way they speak in Udaipur, it's different than the way they speak in Jodhpur. It's different than the way they speak in Ranthambore will be different. It's different, same language of Rajasthani, but different way of speaking, accent also, and that creates division. Yeah. So you really have to see language is nothing other than the medium, especially now in Baba's Gyan, after coming to Baba's Gyan. Anything that your mind is speaking based on the past is something completely unintelligible, not understood by you. If that approach is not kept to the voice in the mind, it will be a constant pull on you. Constant pull on you. Yeah. So that is why Baba is telling us that be like me. That is what Baba wants to see. So just as Father Brahma became victorious, in the same way, every child should always be victorious. What did Father Brahma do for this? Follow the Father. Brahma Baba followed Shiv Baba. Which is why silence is the highest teaching for Baba. What is the highest teaching? Om Shanti. Right? I am silence. See, language labeled everything. Language described everything. It just went on and on and on and on. So Baba is saying, so while taking every step, all of you souls also first of all have to check. Did Father Brahma do this? Even while knowing that a particular child was weak in his effort and in his service, he had even more feelings of mercy and benevolence for those who were weak, means those who were not able to see their truth as it is. That is what it means to be weak. True? So Baba is saying that, and see, eternity, if you have no language, there's no time. If there's no time, there is no thought and time either. Eternity is present anyways then. So Baba is saying, even while knowing that a particular child was weak in his effort and in his service, he had even more feelings of mercy and benevolence for those who were weak. Bab Dada says to all the children, it is like that, no? The mercy Baba talked about in Sunday Murli also. The being of light that is with Baba, who's seeing all these beings of light. The weakness is again not the word weak the way it is understood by my old mind. The word weak means just that the soul is in deeper sleep. That is all. The truth of the soul has not changed just because the soul is dreaming. So the weakness is just that the soul is lost in the dream. But my strength is I can see that truth of the being outside their dream reality. That is the mercy. But if I'm listening to the Murli, the word weak, from the way I've understood in my past life of Rini, then I will completely take it from a very different perspective. Do you see how Murli can be misunderstood?
Yes.
Yeah. That is why Baba said in Murli of 14th of April 21, he said, whilst listening to Murli, there is the shadow of Maya. Yeah. He said in the exact these words, I'm not even paraphrasing. Exact words, 14/4/21, yeah. And what is that Maya ki chaya? Now Baba is speaking in poetic language. What does Maya ki chaya means? Past understanding of Murli's words based on what I have understood words as in my ordinary. That is why everybody understands the same Murli differently, because everybody carries a different meaning for a word, same word, in their mind.
You will think I'm physically weak, Baba is saying.
Yeah, I'm physically weak, I'm mentally weak. That is why Baba is having mercy on me. As a person, you will listen like that.
Even the word mercy, right?
Exactly. Yeah, very good. The word mercy, in religious connotation, if I hear it, poor me.
Yeah. Daya or poor me, bichara.
बेचारी मैं मेरे पे बाबा बहुत दया करता है something is lacking in me. Yeah, I need God's mercy on me. It's not a joke for Baba to wake up the souls, huh? Every soul carrying a different meaning for every word in their mind. It's not a joke. You have to be God to be able to do this. So Baba is saying that Bab Dada says to all his children, similarly, child, have pure feelings and good wishes, and with the vision of mercy. And see, this is why it's so easy for Baba to have mercy and benevolence, because he can see this entire web of language and confusion it has created with body. Attached to the body, it's created a story. Attached to the body, it's created an identity of being a person. So Baba sees it also. It's so easy for that silent being to have mercy and benevolence. The real mercy, huh? Not the old world mercy, the real mercy and the real benevolence. So which is why Baba is saying that be cooperative, child, to each brother of your family. Bab Dada has told you earlier too, that in the subject of love, each and every child has passed according to his capacity. And based on that, what creates misunderstanding amongst each other, brothers and sisters, the parts that are being played? What creates misunderstanding? I say something, you understand something based on what you think the word means.
इसको कहते हैं ना, अर्थ का अनर्थ हो गया.
अर्थ का अनर्थ हो गया. अर्थ का अनर्थ हो गया. इसलिए इनोसेंट हो जाना. कोई चिल्ला रहा है, वो भाषा मिक्स हुई हुई है फीलिंग के साथ. That feeling of thought is mixed with the feeling of language. Language of feeling is mixed with the language of thought. So if they are shouting, screaming, because the way they understand, the mind is computing their language in whichever way they are seeing and perceiving that scene is based on how they have been taught for 63 parts, and it's recorded in the script. That's how they are seeing. Where is that not benevolence coming from? You will not naturally be benevolent with this deep understanding. I was saying something and they misunderstood me. Will you go in that? No, because each one will choose to understand what they are from their scripted mind. Right now, they are using that as a filter. So that is how they will understand. But I know the soul beyond language, beyond all that confusion of the mind. I know the soul. So then, like Baba, I will automatically be just like Baba, effortlessly benevolent and merciful. Right? So that is why Baba is saying that Bab Dada told you earlier, the subject of love, each and every child passes according to his capacity. Based on how much they have stepped out of their mind. That will determine the capacity. And mind is not just thoughts, mind has got a big language of feelings in it, attached to it. And emotions are also a language attached to the mind. And images attached to the mind. So Baba is saying that it is because of love that you too, it is because of love that you are moving forward. Baba's love is beyond language, beyond sound, beyond any division. So see, body is just not a problem. Body by itself and I the soul. This is why Baba said in Sunday Murli, double Karan Karavanhar. Baba and soul and body. That's perfect. Nothing wrong with that, he said. The soul using the body, using the organs to function, to make it work. Wonderful. Know that too. Very important. I, the soul with Baba, using the body, making action happen, using the mind, intellect, and sanskar, using the mind to think, intellect to visualize, and sanskaras, I am using Baba's sanskaras, which is to be in the now. Then there's nothing wrong with any organ. But soul first has to step out of the mind, intellect, and sanskars of old nature. Yeah. So Baba is saying that Bab Dada now wants a sacrifice made out of love. Are you willing to sacrifice? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. You have, of course, understood what Bab Dada wants. You do understand what Bab Dada wants, do you not? Do you not? Sorry?
Just give your mind to Baba.
Absolutely. Give your mind to him. Then, do you have the courage to do that? Baba is asking. Because mind holds all these old sanskaras in the form of a language, waves, energy. You know how it is? They say that in the computer, it's you, whoever is in the computer industry would know. But you know how it is coded in some particular form and then it shows up something else on the screen? Yeah. So the code is sanskara and the way it shows is in language. The code is just sanskara in the form of waves, energy. And that energy is computed by mind as a language and images. And that is what makes outside lifeless world movement. Movement is very big part of making lifeless things look real. Because movement is associated with time. So that is why Baba is saying now, then do you have the courage to do that? If you have courage, then raise your hands. Acha. When the children have courage, the father's help is always there. So Baba's company will keep you out of any time-bound feelings and the mind's world of falsehood. In the result that Baba has seen until now, in terms of complete purity, even waste thoughts is a seed of impurity. Because what is waste thoughts? Language. Unneeded, unnecessary. Language creates mood. Yeah. I remember somebody said something about Rini to the daughter, and daughter in front of this one only. This one was also sitting, daughter was sitting, and that somebody else was also sitting. And they said something, and the daughter did not like it. And here, this one, it did not even register. It's the same language spoken for this one's part, but did not register it. And the other, how can you not hear it? How can you not see it? Because I didn't understand it the way you saw it. So it didn't create any feeling in me. In my mind, not in me, but in my mind. Yeah. So this is why na ek innocence aa jata hai. Innocence of a deity. You will start to see in your own self, in your life, you're much more innocent than anybody outside world can bring forward in front of Brahmin souls, actually. But that innocence is that purity. So Baba is saying that even, yes, sorry. So in the result, Bap Dada has seen until now, in terms of complete purity, even waste thoughts is a seed of impurity. Bap Dada saw that the majority of you still have the sanskar of having waste thoughts. Yeah? So Baba is saying, the basis of your waste thoughts is your mind, which does not allow you to become man, mana, bhava. Just now what you said. What is the basis of your waste thoughts? Is your man. Which does not allow you to become man, mana, bhava. So mind doesn't allow you to become mind sacrifice to God. Yeah.
Is it because it has a feeling, mind has a feeling that it will lose its identity?
Absolutely. Because if the mind dies, ego dies. And it is like, but the being that I am, if I'm really just so totally innocent of the language of the mind has no choice but to dissolve. Because who will argue with the mind who understands mind's language? If you don't understand mind's language, will you argue with it?
Then mind will get
You will
angry on
smile
the
at it.
innocence of the soul.
You will
Mind
smile
will
at
get
it.
angry. It will get
Yeah.
angry on the innocence of the soul.
Yeah. And you will still smile at it because you don't understand its language. You will smile at it. Very nice.
Okay, just like those Spanish people
Yeah.
smiling with the English people.
Exactly. They were smiling at those speaking in English, and those English speaking were actually criticizing the Spanish speaking.
So mind is actually making fun of us and we are unable to understand. The soul is unable to understand.
Yeah. Mind can criticize you, try to criticize the soul doesn't understand. The mind can try to make fun of this and make itself feel low. I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough. Soul doesn't understand that language. Right? Soul just doesn't understand that language. True?
But what about the vibrations at that time when they are like talking with each other and you are listening, but the vibrations will also reach to each other?
That's what sister was just saying. But see, to be able to catch the vibrations, you really have to be in tune with yourself also. Right? But if you're living on the very surface of the language, it's not like those who were speaking Spanish were not doing exactly the same with someone else. They were also probably doing the same. So you're not living at the deep level of who you are. You're living very superficially as a person described and defined by language. So you won't be able to catch vibrations so easily. right? Like Brahma Baba would be with Shiv Baba. How many souls really recognize God? God's vibrations were there for all. How many are recognizing God's vibrations?
So this one has practically seen that, sister. Daughter soul doesn't understand Hindi. Somebody was using some abusive words for her, did not realize it. Keep listening, keep listening. One day she showed up and she's like, you know, what does this mean? And I'm like, that's a very inappropriate word. Who said that? "Yeah, this guy in my class tells me." I'm like, why didn't you tell me before? And she said, I don't understand even what that word mean even.
Yeah.
So until and unless I did not tell her what that word means, she did not even knew that somebody is saying something wrong to her.
Exactly. Exactly. See, this is the innocence of a child. And then the mother will tell, no, no, this word is not a good word. They should not be speaking like this to you. And now it will hold a different experience altogether.
She's like, they use it every day. I keep on hearing in the class. And I'm like, yeah, you should have. I did not even know about this word. She was like, I was like, yeah, she did not even know this word at all.
This is what it is. And this is the attitude I need to have now towards the mind. This is what it means, sacrifice your mind to God. I do not understand its language. So today, why is the soul so susceptible to mind's vibrations and mind's feelings and mind's thoughts? Why? Because it's the soul believing itself to be that person that understands that language of the mind. And as that person, soul suffers. I mean, soul doesn't suffer. That person, soul is identified with that person that is suffering. Yeah, knowing the word gives vibrations for the mind, yeah? For the mind to mind level. But there's another vibration which is between soul and God, which does not need language. When we are trapped in language, then we are interacting with each other as mind to mind. But when we are out of the mind, even slightly open, can you imagine so many souls who were taking knowledge, Baba speaking through Brahma Baba's body, Shiv Baba speaking, and they leave God's hand. What vibrations are not there? God's vibrations? Forget anybody else. God's vibrations? You have to be open to receive.
Even right
Yes.
now, God's vibrations are there.
Exactly.
But if you have those layers of the identity, then you cannot
catch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is so important to understand. We, the souls who are Brahmins, parts, we become very susceptible now to vibrations because we are working on purifying our minds. And that is why we, the souls, are now very susceptible and to the vibrations of our minds and the minds of others. But now Baba is taking us beyond our minds so that I'm immune to any vibrations except the vibrations of God. That is the level we are at now.
That means we will be unaffected by the vibration of our own mind and by the vibration of others' mind too.
Exactly. The collective minds and our own minds, we are beyond the vibrations.
Yeah.
Yeah, uninfluenced. Influenced by one. This has to be there. Then Baba is saying, Bab Dada has given you the signal for a long time that the basis of your waste thoughts is your own mind, which does not allow you to become Manmana Bhava. So whatever is going to happen suddenly. So in terms of something happening suddenly, Bab Dada saw that the majority of you children have the sanskara of having waste thoughts. Having waste means totally identified with waste. Yeah, that's what having waste means. Since Father Brahma became victorious over having waste, means being identified by waste and wasting his time, and became karmatit, you have to follow the Father. Right? I will read this next passage and then finish. Bab Dada saw that the mind is the creation of the soul. That is, mind exists because I am. Yeah? And that you are the creator of your mind. And so you are the master. Control means to master the mind. So you are the masters with the power to rule the mind. But nevertheless, your mind still deceives you. Mind still deceives you. It is your creation. You say it's mine. However, because of not having enough power, which is to be able to see beyond the mechanisms of the mind, it deceives you. The mind is also said to be a horse, but you have the reins of Srimat. Now, this language, if you don't understand beautiful language, it sounds very good. Yeah, Srimat, 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 Srimat. But what is Srimat? What is Srimat? I'm a soul, Baba is a soul. What is Srimat?
Not
Anybody?
to identify with your mind.
Yeah.
Each and every thought of yours is just like a, don't you get touched with it. It's a drama going on.
It's just every thought, every feeling is the drama. Don't associate. You don't touch the mind. Give your mind. Know yourself as it is called dying alive. Means dying to everything you have known before. So it's not just dying to Rini. Rini is made up of what? Thoughts. Thought is made up of what? Language. Language is made up of what? Sanskar. But you need to know there's different aspects and facets of Rini, in my case. Rini is not just Rini. It's made of language. It's made of feelings. It's made of thoughts. It's made up of an image. It's made up of some memory. It's made up of this and that. Sanskar, it's made up of.
If you're combined with Baba, I think most of the work he does, I don't have to do so much.
No, you just need to understand. You're not doing anything.
No,
You
matlab, I think
yeah.
that something like this, that I don't have to do so much, so much effort.
There is no effort. That is why you are with Baba. So you understand all these things very clearly with him. Yeah.
Most of the work he does.
Yeah. Mostly all he does.
Yeah.
He does it all. But you do need to understand how you can be deceived.
Yeah.
True. This is why we see these souls behind dadis. They understood all these concepts of mind and time. They never lived, those souls, at least they worked on not living in their thoughts. Not constantly planning for the future. Not living in the past. So to be with Baba means what? Silent presence. Pure acceptance. Pure allowance. And to check, where am I getting deceived by my mind? Am I checking that? Do I know that deception is even happening? Yeah.
Didi, when we are with Baba, then easily we can see how the mind is deceiving us.
Yeah.
When we are combined with Baba, because there are only three things we have to do, me, myself, as a soul. Then second thing is Baba. We combine with each other. And the third thing we have to pay attention, what mind is actually doing.
Up to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Our one side should be on the mind and the other completely with Baba. Then we can easily see.
Yes.
How your mind is deceiving you.
Absolutely.
That is the only hard work. We have to pay attention on these three things.
Yeah.
That's
and
what
mind is not just mind. Mind has got many aspects to it. So when you have the deep understanding, then you will be able to see that to what extent the deception can also become so subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mind is the truth.
Yeah, Didi, in the beginning, I think when we start working on this, it's a little bit hard. Not hard, I should say. We cannot catch the mind.
Extra attention.
Yeah, the more we pay attention, the more easy it is.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. That's why we have to practice, like you said, 20 minutes morning, evening.
Yeah.
We have to practice more on our own self, actually.
Yeah.
The true identity, who we are.
Exactly. Who am I, being with Baba and being aware of the voice of the mind.
Exactly. These are the things. Yeah.
Yes. And why
Didi,
is it that...
Yes. Yeah, go ahead, Didi. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that is why understanding voice of the mind is not my voice.
Yeah.
That is very, very important aspect. Otherwise, you're just part of the mind battling with the mind.
Right.
Yeah. So we're not living superficially, but Baba and I, observer of the mechanisms, understanding the mechanisms, then something that you understand, you transcend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
For this soul, it happens right in the beginning. The awareness is very good all the time.
Your voice is very muffled.
Baba, and now it's clear. Is it clear now?
Can you speak without headphones, maybe?
Okay. Now it's all. Is it
We
all
can't.
right?
Yeah,
Is it
now
all?
it's now better.
Now, in beginning, when I'm practicing, it's all right. I'm aware. I'm with Baba. But gradually, I don't know, this mind deceives me. I get lazy, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Anytime it's so corrupt, I get swayed away.
Mm-hmm.
That I feel ki it's laziness of this soul only. How to overcome it? I just starting is very big, good. I feel good, but how everything changes, I don't know. That is
Yeah. This is why we are going in the depth of understanding of the mechanisms of mind, because once you know it, then you can see it when it's coming. So now you can see that there's a laziness of the mind, which is overthinking is laziness. Sounds like a paradox, but overthinking is laziness. And you can observe the overthinking mind. You are totally, that is why we are coming again and again. The soul is silent. Soul has no language. Soul has no feeling of laziness, carelessness. Those are all the feelings that are observed by the being that I am. Because whether you call it laziness, whether you call it carelessness, it's existing in some form of the language of feeling in the body mind. That is all. But because there's identification with that changing feeling and the changing mood, the being experiences himself to be that changing feeling and the changing mood. That is why the soul really needs to know himself, being with Baba, what it means. Yeah?
yes, yes, it's correct. But all the time, that attentiveness, that awareness. Uh, in morning time, it's all right. Morning, I feel good and aware. But gradually, daytime, afternoon, evening. By evening, I feel very deprived of it.
Uh-huh. Okay. So tell me one thing, is awareness more aware of positive and less aware of negative in
Evening
mind's
time,
language?
in mind's language, evening time, I'm less aware. Morning time, I'm more
Yes,
aware.
awareness ever?
I couldn't get it.
Is awareness ever less or more based on morning and evening?
Morning is more, I'm attentive. Baba is with me all the time.
Is
But,
Baba not there with you in the evening?
but mind has started taking,
Yeah,
capturing.
somewhere I'm just identifying with the moods of the mind.
Mm.
That is all that is happening. And again, mood is made up of language and some feeling which I don't understand. And so I feel mornings are good. So then I'm attached to that morning good time. Evenings are a little bit less. I'm resisting that experience of the. See, these are the so many different belief systems that are sitting there.
So, sir, is that a reason why Numasham Yoga is also considered? Somehow this one is feeling ki by that time evening aa jaye, mind like start ticking over. That's why we have like evening yoga also.
Actually, there was just a carelessness of attention during the day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get caught up in the act of the body and the thinking of the mind. And that is why it feels like that I'm little less of me by the evening. But you're neither more or less, you're always you, morning or evening. Just be aware. Whenever there is heaviness or getting caught up in action is also coming, you are aware of even that part of being immersed in the action. You're aware of that. And you even can take permission from Baba that Baba, you and I are going to be now totally immersed, means totally attentive to this task together. Yeah, I'm always here and I'm always now. And I'm having the experience of heaviness. I am that. that is experiencing heaviness. I am not heaviness. And that is why I listened to the meditation today, because Baba said in meditation also, then mind will judge that heaviness, that I am aware of this heaviness. Why is it not going? Why is it not becoming better? This is all the functioning of the mind. Know yourself with Baba and see everything as a detached observer. Everything that the mind offers as a detached observer. You are zero. Can't say enough, the soul is zero. Yeah? So keep coming back to who you are. Don't just sway with the mood of the mind. The mind is feeling heavy by the evening. The mind is feeling a little less aware. But you are still the awareness, aware of all those changing moods of the mind. Just don't say I to those moods that are changing. Does that make sense, Sujata?
Om Shanti. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, we just don't want to say I to any changing mood, changing feeling. You are zero, combined with the Father. Baba is not swaying with the moods and the feelings of your mind. Baba is just stable and silently present to whatever experience you, the being, may be having in the moment. He's not judging you by the experience of the moment. He's seeing you as the one who is allowing that experience to appear in your awareness that you are. So see yourself as Baba is seeing you. This is Raj Yoga. Okay?
Thank you, Didi. I'll do this. I'll do this way. This practice is very
Yeah. Yeah.
really helping me a lot, and share my
There is a
Mhm.
pain in sister's voice, Sister Sujata. Maybe because of some situation.
no,
Yeah.
No, no.
no, actually मेरा आज टूथ का ना वो टूथ एक्सट्रैक्शन का बहुत पेन है मेरे tooth
That pain is visible also in your voice.
हाँ तो इसलिए अभी पेन किलर खाया है तो इसलिए बोलने में थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम हो रही है
No problem, no problem. But I can hear the sweetness of the soul. That's okay.
That is a difference. That is a difference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So we just want to kind of really see that the soul that I am is not, Baba is not seeing me as the experience that is presenting itself in front of me. Baba is seeing me as the one who is aware of that experience. I am not changing with the experiences that are coming and going. I am the awareness, and that is the one Baba is looking at, and that is the one who I am myself experiencing myself as. This is really that simple. Don't go with the flow of the river of your thoughts and feelings and moods. You stay out of the river, at the bank of the river with Baba. Let the river flow in front of you. Okay? Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
ओम शांति थैंक यू